And it's such an amazing feeling when you're working in a team where everyone believes in the project and the art, and they always try to add something to elevate it even more. How can I find the words to say? What's good, guys? It's your girl Aisyah. I know it's been a minute since I've done some of these like walkthrough talking type of videos on YouTube, but I thought this would be the perfect time to come on here to talk about my new release, Words, a remix version of it created by Pisces Kid. It is a UK garage inspired track. It's very upbeat. It's perfect for summer or if you need a bit of a mood booster. So it's such a fun track. Pisces Kid did an amazing job on the remix, and it's out now on platforms, so the link is in the description box if you haven't checked it out yet. And the visualizer's out too, so you can check that out as well. This video is all about the music evolution of Words. And I say evolution because this track has gone through a bunch of different different style. And so I thought it would be cute to kind of share this with you guys and show how much it has grown, because I feel like that's also reflective of me as an artist, a songwriter, composer, and producer and stuff. And so I just get very geeky about these things, very nerdy. So I get excited about wanting to share this. So to talk about the origins of Words, we gotta take it back all the way to end of 2016, early 2017 was when I first wrote the initial version of Words. I was living in Rochester, New York at the time, and I was in my final year of university. I was just sitting in my bedroom one day and just playing through some chord progressions on my guitar, and I landed on one that I really loved. And so I started freestyling and improvising on top of the chords, and eventually just kept repeating the phrase, "How can I find the words to say this?" Which eventually became like the chorus of it. How can I find the words to say this? How can I find the words to say this? 'Cause you've been on my mind for what it feels like. The style of this initial draft is so different. It's a lot slower. It's a more mellow type of song. I've only performed it for small gigs like coffee shops and really small events, but I never released it. And I actually had it recorded in a studio. One of the audio engineering students in my university saw me perform on campus, and he saw me perform like my original songs, and he approached me at the end of my performance and was like, "Hey, I would love to record your original songs if you're down for that." And to me, I was like, yeah, oh, heck yeah, like, let's do it. I programmed the drums and I programmed some of the synths and everything. I invited my good friend Zeke to play trumpet on the song as well. And so we were both just recording in the studio. Once it was mixed, something inside me was like, I don't think it's ready to be released. Something's missing. I didn't find the sound that I wanted it to sit in yet, if that makes sense. I knew I wanted to eventually release this. I was just like, nah, maybe right now is not the time. So after we recorded, I got the final mixes. I just kept them on a hard drive. It's somewhere on one of my old hard drives. Graduated, got my degree in 2017. Then I decided to take a leap of faith by moving to Los Angeles to work in the film music industry. Fast forward to early 2020, I released my debut single, Memories, which was actually written for a short film I scored for, Walls, which is by James Abrams. Released a second single after that called Shoulda Said, featuring Zeke. And I guess like the song producing bug bit me because I was like, I want to write more. I have a lot to say that I want to get off my chest, you know? And then the pandemic hit. And so everything was crazy and uncertain and just stressful for everyone. But for me personally, I was trying to figure out, well, how can I cope with the uncertainties and the stress? Let me look at like different avenues of what I want to do in music and how I want to expand and grow. And so I thought, like, let me go down the songwriting, song producing route. And that was when I decided to create my debut EP, Head in the Clouds, and to release it by the end of the year. When I was compiling my list of songs that I wanted on the EP, words came up. And I thought, why don't I revisit this track? Dude, okay, I'm so excited. I'm just playing around with harmonies right now. Listen to this. Please be patient while I find the courage to express how I feel. I scratched everything except for the initial idea for the chorus. I kept the same chord progression for that as I did with the first draft, and instead of it kind of dragging out, I just had to go, more simple, like, how can I find the words to say? Because I wanted something catchy. I wanted something rhythmic as well. And I wanted something that people can just sing on the streets, like hum it to themselves when they're at work and stuff, So something that just is simple, it sticks in your ear. I've always been the type who loves setting a scene when it comes to songwriting. Like, how do I immerse the listeners? How do I get them into this world like instantly? When I was going through, what kind of story I want to portray, I was like, well, what's one of the most romantic scenes I can think of, or something that I love and that brings me peace? And I thought of the beach, specifically sunset on the beach. And so that's why I started the song off with sun dipping over the ocean, washing the sky with hues of orange and red. I wanted something so like visceral, like you can see it. I don't want to point out too explicitly, like, oh, there's a sunset, we're on a beach, kind of thing. I like hinting, where we may be, and have them piece the puzzle together. We don't know if they've been friends for so long, if this is a first date, but I just wanted to establish that feeling of like, wow, time has stopped. And this moment feels so special and so perfect. And I don't want to ruin that. I don't want to like mess this up, because this is such an amazing feeling. I love that style of writing. When I was writing the first verse, I was like, sweet, let's just keep building from this. And once I got the skeleton down, I sent it over to one of my good friends, Aisyah, to track some bass guitar for it. After I produced everything, wrote everything, and just finalized the whole song, I sent it off to Sophomore for mixing. He came back with the draft, and I was like, this sounds amazing. I'm so excited. And it's such an amazing feeling when you're working in a team where everyone believes in the project and the art, and they always try to add something to elevate it even more. So I really like that. And I really appreciated that. Head in the Clouds came out October 2020, came back to Brunei in 2021. By this point, Pisces Kid and I already released a single called Slow Down. And since then, we've been collaborating on other projects together. I remember Pisces Kid was talking about, the UK music scene, because he was living and studying there for a while too. So jokingly, but not really jokingly, he was like, what if I remixed your Head in the Clouds EP and have them all in a different style? We can have UK garage, jungle, drum and bass. And I was like, yeah, let's try it out. I sent him my stems. He came back with the first draft. And when I heard it, I was like, let's do it. But for the first draft, Pisces Kid used my original lead vocal stems, right? And while I loved the beat and the instrumental track he produced and remixed, I was listening to my lead vocal part. And then I said to him, dude, can I re-record my lead vocals? And the reason why I thought that was because, I still want my voice to sound organic. But also, for me personally, I've gone through a lot of vocal growth and maturity, especially the past year and a half. And I want to showcase that, you know. And since we're on the topic of like seeing words go through this evolution and this growth, I want that to be reflected in my performance and my artistry and, you know, my voice. So I re-recorded my lead vocals. Sun dripping over the ocean, washing the sky with hues of orange and red. Waves of a deep emotion, deep emotion, deep emotion. Wondering words that have yet to be said. We both listened to it and we were like, yeah, this sits better. Something kind of like, oh, we'll just do this for fun, turned into like a wait a minute type of moment. Like, let's share this with the world. I thought it was a really, really cool rendition of my song because, you know, it just took it to a different height, a different place. And it's got its own identity, you know, and that's what I love about this whole evolution. Like each phase that words has been through, it just reflects, you know, growth. And I think that's what's so special and beautiful about this evolution. It's hard to see growth in the moment, but when we look back and we can kind of see or like hear the growth, I think that's where it gets exciting. And that's where, for me personally, I'm like, okay, don't beat yourself up too hard. When I know I want to be in a certain place now, but I'm not there yet, and I, you know, tend to get frustrated or get like a little impatient, like, oh my gosh, I need to work harder to get where I want to be in my career. But yeah, just hearing back old recordings or looking back at old art and performances and just seeing like how far I've grown. It reminds me to just like, yeah, like give yourself a pat on the back every now and then and celebrate, you know, milestones. Don't just like try to torpedo through all your opportunities. Just really enjoy the moment. And that's something I always try to remind myself, you know. I love that Pisces Kid brought this late 90s, early 2000s type of vibe to the track. The first time I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, this sounds so nostalgic. I love it. Because it sounds so nostalgic and stuff, I wanted visually to reflect that. But that is something I will talk about in the next part of the video, so stay tuned. I will continue this next week. In the meantime, if you haven't yet, you should check out Words Pisces Kid Remix. It's out on platforms now. You can even purchase it on Bandcamp if you want to, you know, give some further support. The visualizer is out as well. So if you want, you can check that out before we do a breakdown video of the video. Wait. If you want, you could check out the visualizer first before I drop my video breakdown next week. So if you're new to this channel, welcome. First of all, consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future content. If you are a returning subscriber, hello, I hope you're well. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you like it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you next week. Mwah.